Here's a little shape tween assignment that I'd like you to do. It's already complete, and I'll do a test movie to show you what I want for the end result. I'll go up to Control, Test Movie, choose Test. It's basically a ball that starts at the bottom, hits the left wall, hits the top, hits the right wall, comes to the center, turns into a 5-point star, grows, and then sits on screen for about 1 second. Now I will give you a couple of clues on how this was built, but again I'd like you to more or less figure it out for yourself with what we've learned so far. So let me close this, show you the timeline. Again, if I go back to frame 1, it's simply a raw vector shape, a circle that I created. I'll just go back to my selection tool here. And if I jump to the keyframe, so what I've done is I've applied a shape tween to that first keyframe, and then I'd advance 10 frames, create a new keyframe, and change the position of the ball. And I did that on frame 10, frame 20, frame 30, and then frame 40 I brought it to the center, and on frame 50 I replaced it with a star shape so that it will morph into the star between 40 and 50. And then from 50 to 70, I enlarged the star. So let me show you how I enlarged the star, because we actually didn't learn that. If I double click on that star on the stage, I simply went to my free transform tool, went to a corner, then with my shift key down, I pulled on the corner, which constrained it and also enlarged it. It will also shrink if I push it the other way. So let me just undo that. So on frame 70 is actually where I enlarged it. And then I just spanned that out for another 30 frames by hitting F5 on the frame 100, which just created a span and just held that in place for a 30 frame duration, which is basically a second and a half because I'm running at 24 frames per second. So again, if I just scrub from the beginning, bounce, 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 center, morph into star, then grow, then stop. And that's what I want you to build as your shape tween exercise.